kind of bring together artists that are willing to work with each other to build you know, momentum as one instead of separate.
We really try to push each other and like support each other, so that's been really great for me and for all of us, I think.
We just kind of noticed, like, hey, we can really do a lot with this. You know, we can get more walls together than we can by ourselves.
It's more of a family of artists that got together. A lot of us happen to do, you know, a form of street art, but our message is a positive one, and trying to do what we feel kind of beautifies the city.
My name is Severiano Garza. All the artists here in SprATX are constantly challenging me to like do better and do more.
Sevi came along about just a little bit before we opened the store. He asked us what we were all about, and I asked him what he's all about. And we kind of clicked on the same sense as we want to keep it structured to where we can create, you know, avenues for these artists to, you know, support themselves. Thinking about art, you feel like everybody's on the same page, but they're not. It's a different world for a lot of us. A lot of us live for doing nothing but painting in the streets. A lot of them want to create canvases all the time, and it's different, but we all have that one drive, is to create.
Being able to like be surrounded by this piece of property while I'm producing my work is incredibly meaningful, and it just feels really good to be out here. It's almost like I'm on vacation all the time. I can just come here and work and be at peace, and if I want, I can go fishing. I can take out the guns and shoot some cans. It's just a good place to like be quiet and get away from all the noise and distractions of the city. So this is definitely my sanctuary away from all the craziness that is life, I guess. Essentially, I just grew up through sports, and I ended up getting injured and unable to play sports, and through that loss of identity and my inability to compete any longer, I just kind of refound myself through spray paint and stencil art. There's a fine line. Like, once you take street art and you change it from something that was organically made in the street, and you try to like turn it into like a product where you're trying to sell it, that takes away from the fact that it's street art, you know? And so there's all these really like interesting things that no matter what you do, you'll be hurting somebody's feelings, but you just have to figure out a way to make a living at it. Homeless series, well, the way that I go about it first is I bring a sandwich with me, and we'll sit and just eat and talk. Then I'll say, hey, well, I'm doing this project about people that live in the streets. I really would love to tell your story. I just happened to see you today, and I figured I'd come and ask if it was okay if I took your photo for the use of making some art. And the whole thing behind it is that I'm trying to like show people that these people exist, and the fact that we don't know that they exist until someone painted them on a wall is, you know, it kind of shows that our priorities aren't necessarily in the right place. It's a really big gray area, especially because I'm like a small business owner. Like, I'm not about to go to some restaurant and just take their wall and paint a homeless person on there. You're always going to upset someone with your point of view on what is actually vandalism and what isn't. An example that I could use is when we paint on the Lamar Bridge, the city has actually come in and buffed out stuff. And sometimes people just throw up something really quick that's just like classic graffiti bubble letters. And the city has buffed out the graffiti, but left the street art. SprATX has been the single most important community that I've become a part of. They've helped me push myself in terms of becoming more art focused in terms of like content and like kind of the subject matter behind it. And we're such a diverse group. Like we come from every socioeconomic background, every religious preference, every sexual preference, every race. Like it doesn't matter. The street art kind of transcends all of our differences. And as a result, we get along great because we're here to like do one thing, which is make street art in our city that we love.